schools rebuilt by Tzu Chi after the Wenchuan earthquake raises funds to help disadvantaged students. The policy change on stray animals leads to overcapacities in public shelters and inhumane issues. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. In the aftermath of 2008 Sichuan earthquake, Tzu Chi has helped to rebuild 13 schools. 10 years later, these schools encourage students to give back to the society. At Zhaoyang Tzu Chi Elementary School, a charitable contribution fundraiser is held every semester for the students and teachers to help impoverish students.
Zhaoyang Tzu Chi Elementary School holds a charitable contribution fundraiser at the beginning of every semester. Music teacher Sun Hong believes that such acts of kindness must be continued by the next generation.
I've told my daughter, when I cannot make donations anymore, you must continue these acts of love.
The school hosts this fundraiser event every year to thank Tzu Chi Foundation for rebuilding the school after the 2008 Sichuan earthquake.
Today marks the groundbreaking of the construction of Luoshui Tzu Chi High School, and we are very excited.
My favorite place is the library because there are many books. Reading can enrich our knowledge outside the classrooms.
In the aftermath of the earthquake, Tzu Chi has helped rebuild 13 schools in 5 regions, including Luoshui, Deyang, Mianyang, Ya'an, and Chengdu. With the new school building, the children can continue to pursue an education. At the school, they've learned to help each other.
I'm very happy, and I have learned how to help others when I grow up.
When I was rescued, I thought all that matters is that I was still alive. I felt that I could overcome any difficulties as long as I stayed alive.
Having been through the scenes of life and death and attending these activities, they can learn to harbor gratitude and help each other.
We've witnessed how the children matured after they've been through disasters. We've also seen how the affected residents overcame their grief.
所有的项目建成正式启用。
10 years later, the school is filled with children's laughter. The school principal and teacher go to Zhang Na's home on this day to visit her grandmother.
I'm very grateful. I cannot find the right words to describe my feelings. Thank you, principal, and thanks to the school.
My grandmother has to raise 3 children.
The supplies and monetary aid are imbued with the love of students and teachers.
The school will provide more help so that this child can have good development.
Stories of love often take place at the schools that are rebuilt with people's compassion.
In Singapore, Tzu Chi volunteers have held the Buddha Day ceremony at Bedok Stadium, attended by more than 4,000 people. The participants include politicians and religious leaders who seized the occasion to express their gratitude.
Under the burning sun, Tzu Chi volunteers are busy preparing for the Buddha Day ceremony at Bedok Stadium. Despite the lack of time, the volunteers are still mindful about every step of the preparation.
If we ask each person to arrange 2 to 3 pots of flowers, we can finish the work sooner. However, it would not be as beautiful. Therefore, we've asked some people to place the leaves while others insert the flowers. This way, the work will be uniform and beautiful.
It is a challenge to place more than 2,000 ground markers.
The ground is hard. The Tzu Chi sisters have to work hard to place the markers into the ground, but everyone is doing the work happily.
About 4,800 people attend the Buddha Day ceremony. Among them, politicians and religious leaders also take part.
Tzu Chi has been doing very good work in Singapore, in helping people who are less fortunate. So I thank Tzu Chi. I thank all of you.
Respect for the Buddha will arise in people's minds through the ritual.
I think this is one of the strong points in Singapore, and not only that, the people and the members of different faith and religion understand that they got to live and work together and respect and show harmony.
Halfway through the ceremony, it starts to rain. Despite that, the volunteers who put on raincoats still maintain their human formations respectfully. Tzu Chi Care recipient Tom Kun is attending the ceremony for the first time with her daughter. Her trip to the ceremony venue has been difficult.
Since LRT was under renovation and it takes 1.5 hours to take the bus, we got a car to send us over here. It is Mother's Day and we've promised our mother we'd take her here. We need to carry out our promise.
Despite the hard work and the rain, everyone's faith has become firmer after the ceremony.
Moving next to Malaysia, it's the first time they hosted the Buddha Day ceremony at the Tzu Chi Educational Center. It reminded everyone of the hard work that goes into building the center. Let's join them there.
Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter is holding the Buddha Day ceremony, attended by 1,400 people. It is as solemn as the groundbreaking ceremony of the Tzu Chi Educational Center 8 years ago.
We were able to build this building thanks to the efforts of Tzu Chi brothers, sisters, and kind people in the society. As we witness everyone's love, we see the hope for the society.
I've seen that everyone is doing work mindfully with love. Although the master is not in Penang, the volunteers still carry out the work mindfully.
The Dharma masters lead everyone to pay tribute to the Buddha, their parents, and all sentient beings.
Our parents are the most important. The Buddha had said that our parents are our bodhisattvas, as they care for us and nurture us with love.
The mother-daughter pair worship the Buddha, expressing their gratitude.
My mother is already more than 90 years old, therefore I vowed to go visit my mother every day.
We came to the Buddha Day ceremony to pray for our mother and ourselves. It gives us the chance to express our love and gratitude.
Everyone sees the opportunity to live out the Buddha's teachings.
Taiwan's immigration agency led 30 new immigrants to attend the Buddha Day ceremony in Taipei, wearing their traditional dresses. It shows the strength and beauty of Buddhism and the multicultural in the nation.
Wearing their dazzling traditional dresses, these 30 new immigrants are an attraction in the Buddha Day ceremony.
We came from so far away, but they also invited us to attend this ceremony. The Mother's Day also happens to be my mom's birthday, so I can pray that she's in peace and joy.
I feel in recent years, it was probably due to the blessing from the elderly and my husband that I can attend this ceremony. I want to thank Tzu Chi volunteers' guidance so we can have this chance.
I like it very much. After I came here, I feel peaceful. It's like I'm given this power.
In addition to Vietnam, these new immigrants also come from Japan, China, Myanmar, Thailand, and Cambodia.
The sisters have lived in Taiwan for years, and they are very into the life in Taiwan. When our people see them, they often feel they're pretty and ask where they're from. There's no need to worry because the sisters are generous to tell everyone their mother culture and their lives in Taiwan.
They gather in the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall to experience the love of Taiwan and the beauty of multiculturalism.
Yang Yijie participated in the drum and bell performance, which later led her to become a Tzu Chi member. She has become more filial to her parents through her careful drum instruction and hopes to pass this lesson to younger generations.
上敲
At this drum practice, a patient drum instructor is instructing these students.
Rotate, rotate once again. Remember to look only at your drum. Don't move your eyes.
After coming home, the first thing that she does is hug her family. After studying the sutra Profound Gratitude Towards Parents, Yang Yijie has gained courage and inspiration.
Before I would write my mother a note saying that I love her, and then I became used to doing good deeds for her to express this love. And then once or twice I would do this habit. Now my dad even says that he wants a hug when I come home, and I go over and hug him.
We're boiling a pot of hot tea for the family. She tries to put into practice lessons from the Dharma path.
We have some members of the drum group who use Skype to communicate. Today we're discussing and sharing Master Cheng Yan's lesson.
2 years ago, she participated in a drum performance for Buddha Day celebration, then undertook training to become a Tzu Chi volunteer.
I used to think it was something for the elders and nothing related to youth, but it is because my mother is a member of Tzu Chi, so she always taught me about Master's teachings. At that time, my heart may not have been in the right place.
Now her heart is truly focused.
年轻的时候，时间真的浪费太多了。我现在一定要赶快把握时间，能够付出，我就会赶快来。
Since the government stopped culling stray animals in February 2017, nearly all public animal shelters are at overcapacity. According to data from December 2017, at least 7 counties and cities exceeded the maximum number of animals at their facilities, putting pressure upon private animal shelters. The problem is now worsening as some believe the change in government policy simply leads to lifetime imprisonment for these animals.
Every pet in this animal shelter is hoping for their lucky day when they can be adopted by someone.
How do we choose them? Sometimes it's very random. We look at their fate, or if they are very weak or sick in the shelter, or if they need to see a doctor, then we will take them away. Some we choose just because they're cute.
Every dog hopes to be chosen. For those that are so lucky, a special sign will be attached to their cage, indicating that they will be adopted by someone.
I raised them since they were young. They were so small back then. I hope they are well behaved when they go to Taipei to find a family. Am I sad that I am giving them up for adoption? Not at all. It's good for them to be adopted, otherwise our facility will be too crowded.
16 years ago, when she founded the dog home, Huang Meihua said that when she went to the animal shelter, she would cry uncontrollably.
After all, the resources of these shelters are quite limited. Their medical resources are very basic, such as neutering or dealing with other simple problems, as they can't cope with animals which have more serious problems.
Arriving at this private animal shelter, the staff stress that they do not want their address revealed, as too many people may come by to drop off unwanted pets.
This is actually a very serious problem. After we just started or wherever we go, people will abandon their dogs. Actually, when it comes to staff or space or resources, we have exactly the same problems looking after these dogs, just like the public.
Civic groups have helped relieve some of the pressure from the public sector to care for strays. However, after the zero culling measure passed, the pressure on public animal shelters has only increased.
The number of animals in public shelters is around 70 to 80% of our maximum capacity. From this data, we are seeing more pressure regarding new admissions rather than those that have been dealt with.
According to data as of December 2017, there are 7 counties and cities which had overcapacity at their shelters, including Hsinchu County, Taoyuan City, Yunlin County, Jiayi City, Jiayi County, Nantou County, and Taipei City. In order to ensure the quality of care at animal shelters, the government's current policy is to selectively capture them. Unless informed by the public, authorities will not take the initiative to catch stray dogs. Once they enter the shelter, they will undergo sterilization. The most important part of this program is educating the public in source management. For example, the Yilan County government dispatched a special advocacy group to educate the public at a local market about the importance of sterilizing animals. Working together with NGOs helps relieve some of the overcrowding at animal shelters.
In 2013, the number of dogs in shelters was around 3,500, and last year we had little more than 1,100, so we are actually 70% fewer.
As long as the public's concept about the disposable nature of dogs does not change, the issue of overcapacity at shelters will never be resolved.
Team at Kaohsiung recently held a free clinic in Jiaxian district to check the seniors' health. Among the patients is an 89-year-old grandmother who is reluctant to see doctors. Team member went to her home to persuade her to have a thorough check at the borough head's office.
Tima members hold a medical outreach in the mountainous area of Baolong, Jiaxian. Many residents in the community came in the morning to seek medical attention.
What you have done is quite meaningful. You have made a great contribution to our community and the people in Baolong.
Ms. Lin felt content after receiving the medical services. She then led Tima members to a mountainous area to make a house call for an 89-year-old senior who had a cold. In the beginning, the grandmother was reluctant to see the doctor, but later she was persuaded by the volunteers. In order to give her a thorough health checkup, the doctors and nurses accompanied her to have an examination at the office of the borough head.
After we sent the grandmother back home, she was also reluctant to bid farewell, so she saw us off. I think this was a good cause today, and I learned a lot. I also formed a good affinity with her.
Fortunately, the senior had no problem with her health. She also reminded this medical team to come back frequently. Tima members have held free clinics in Jiaxian for many times, and they will continue to safeguard the health of the residents in the community.
A patient, Shu Yi, in Cadet Tzu Chi dialysis center is almost blind due to congenital glaucoma. She fought hard to conquer both breast and cervical cancer. However, she then was diagnosed with kidney failure and must undergo dialysis treatment. Her son, Dan Zhiyong, quit school to take care of her because he believes he must cherish his one and only mother.
My name is Tan Sui Lun. Every day when I wake up, I get a feeling that the one thing I must do every day is to take good care of my mother. It's 1 in 10,000 people that have cancer, so is having kidney disease. It's extremely difficult for a person to survive cancer. Not to mention kidney problem is a lifetime illness. When changing this bag, you must touch the excrement, but to me it's not a big deal. In the beginning, it's not easy. For example, if you don't connect well, it will leak, or if you didn't stick it in tight, the water will come out and won't stick in more. You must put the right energy.
I used to attempt to suicide by taking pills because I thought life is meaningless, but in the end I don't have the guts. I'm afraid to die.
When I first stepped into Tzu Chi dialysis center, I felt very harmonious at that moment. It's different with the dialysis place I saw in the hospital.
First day they stepped in, I have never seen that.
Since the first day they came here, I've never seen him losing temper or speaking loud to his mother. Even though sometimes his mother could be emotional, but he's still willing to take care of his mother. He called us and said that he's willing to listen to his mother's bothersome.
And then he willing to listen to what's the problem.
If I say I'm feeling uncomfortable, he will sit there and only leaves when I feel better. My son is very thoughtful and considerate.
No one can predict how long we're able to be with our families, so we should cherish the moment when we can still take care of each other. If I miss this chance, I will definitely regret it.
Yang Chenhao's father died of heart disease 2 years ago. To keep the promise between father and son, he once brought his father's picture with him to run a marathon. Now that he has gotten into the National Taiwan Ocean University, his father's wish has finally been fulfilled.
第一个一定要无菌操作，那在标本片的制作在这边有准备的那个接种法。
18-year-old Chen Hao is examining the yeast under the microscope. He studies food science because his father has a wish.
My father was a teacher in the school, so I went here also. He kept telling me that he hopes I can get into National Taiwan Ocean University like he did.
Chen Hao had a close relationship with his father, and they often exercised together and had even promised to run marathon together every year. However, his father passed away due to a heart problem 2 years ago, but he still kept their promise by signing up his father and taking his father's picture with him on the marathon.
My interaction with my dad is just like that of a friend. I asked him for help whenever I had a problem. He always helps me to solve them, and he often exercises with me.
In the future, he needs to shoulder the burden of this family because his 2 sisters will get married, and he must undertake the responsibility of providing for the family. Later on, I found that he has become more active, and I don't need to push him to study anymore.
His father's death made him realize that he must change. This had turned him from a student who lagged behind to one that is very active.
I encouraged him that even though he's not doing well now, as long as he's willing to work hard, he still has a chance.
After 2 years of hard study, Chen Hao not only got 10 licenses, but he has also got into National Taiwan Ocean University, just like his father did, showing that the undying love between father and son will continue. Children in Tainan DaAi Kindergarten offered tea ceremony to their mother to express their love and had deeply touched their family on the Buddha Day ceremony. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us.